blessed to have someone like Kyle as your brother. Because in many ways, he's been acted like an older brother to me. Being serious, I'll give him 20 parts today. He's always been mature for his age, and because of that, I've been able to reach out to him when I've had been in turning points in my life, and I've been able to count on him for support. And we've had a lot of great adventures together, from backpacking in the river mountains in Wyoming, to hiking in New Hampshire, fishing in Florida and Texas, and we've shared some miserable times together on my dad's infamous Sunday drive looking at open houses. Now, Kyle has a habit of making the rest of us look bad. Consider, for example, what we were both like as kids. While I was getting sent to the principal's office nearly daily for acting out in class, Kyle was organizing one-man dinosaur hunting expeditions. You see, Kyle was a well-known Jurassic Park aficionado. He was determined to do his part and rid the world of the tyranny of the Tyrannosaurus. I was determined to drive my mother insane. Why can't you be more like Kyle? She would ask, as he crept around the house hunting for rodent velociraptors. Now, it was that sort of world-saving, selfless ethic that led Kyle to Lindy. Kyle met Mr. and Mrs. Schroeder before he met Lindy in a scenario so serendipitous you can hardly believe it happened. Now, Kyle, assuming, and I think rightly so, that someone from Rhode Island would be considered an international student at UVA, showed up at the international students orientation a few days before everyone else in the country shows up. So Kyle had already been settled in by the time everyone else showed up. So, already being set up, like his junior missions in Jurassic Park days, he set out to help others. He walked by one dorm room in particular and saw a man's legs sticking out from underneath a bed. It appeared the man was having a difficult time getting the bed to set up on some risers. Kyle offered his hammer-throwing honed biceps to help him. Not yet knowing the victory of his act of valor had secured for him. Meanwhile, legend has it that Mrs. Schroeder started eyeing the strapping young man's her lovely daughter. By the time Lindy returned to the room, so the family lore goes, the Schroeders were already in love. And as my wife will attest to, women can hardly resist the brawn and wit of the Galle men. Is that right? As we stand here today, Kyle and Lindy have dated for years, but they approach one another with a joy and excitement that makes it seem like they're heading out on their first date. Together, they not only share a commitment to taking care of one another, their families, and their world, but they take pleasures in the simple things. So, please raise your glasses. Kyle and Lindy, a spirit of exploration and generosity led you to one another. May that same spirit lead you on many wonderful adventures together. Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
To introduce Maid of Honor, Catherine Schroeder.
Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about my relationship with the bride. As children, we called ourselves sister friends because we didn't really sister was a term that could define our camaraderie. Therefore, we came up with a song, we held each other's hands, and we spun in circles singing our sister friend song. Sometimes we were mistaken for twins. We scheduled days where we would dress identically to, further resemble each other. I'm happy to everything that Lindy did because I wanted to be just like her when I grew up. And even through my angsty middle school, high school days, when I seemed obsessed with differentiating between the two of us, I still emulated her silently and stole all of her clothes. And makeup and jewelry and purses. Over time, our relationship has grown so strong. I admire Lindy for her selflessness, her patience, her generosity, her supportiveness. She's still my sister friend, she's my person, and she holds me up when I'm falling apart. So you can probably imagine the quality of standards that I hold for any of her gentlemen suitors. Kyle certainly signed himself up for an uphill battle when he chose to pursue Lindy, because I may or may not have given him an extra hard time. I'm sure he has stories. Basically, men who choose girls with sisters all eventually come to realize that it's equally as important, if not more so, to gain the stamp of approval of the sister as it is of the parents. All to say, I knew Kyle was for keeps after one of my first experiences with him. He had come to visit Lindy at home over a college break. I was upstairs completing my 11th grade homework. I heard an insane amount of noise coming from downstairs, so I decided to take a little journey downstairs and figure out what was going on. And I walk in on Lindy and Kyle sitting in beanbag chairs, fiercely battling on Nintendo 64 over Mario Kart at age 20. Instant winner. Basically, I trust very few other people with the privilege of being Lindy's confidant and taking care of her. But on today, I have never had more faith in the gentleman sitting next to her. He brings out the best Lindy that I have ever met in my life. And I've known her for 22 of my years, so, these two right here are a prime example of what, genuine love looks like to me. So I want to offer my congratulations to Lyle, my fond nickname for the two of them. These two deserve each other, and I want us all to raise our glass to their long and beautiful relationship. Cheers.
And this time we're going to open the buffet.